morning, good afternoon, Tartaria Australia, an order didactic who is a birthday boy today. Campbell. Campbell's birthday,
Is,
day
yeah,
16.
yeah. We're recording this on the 13th, my birthday, and yeah, day 16 without food.
That's right. And he doesn't get much. He gets an ice cube with a candle, a glass of water. He gets some hot water,
Yep, yep, had a tea, treated
maybe a
myself.
shower.
Mm,
You get a shower, birthday shower.
Yay. Yep, yep. Gonna be a boring one,
Mate.
but we're gonna have a get together next weekend. And Kelly's not smoking, so she's gonna have issues, but we'll get her there anyway. Get a few red wines into her.
Yeah, I'm purified, man. Yep. No, I've quit smoking, tea and everything. So
Mm,
it's been big cleanse. So yeah, it's always that awkward moment. How do you step back into society and, socialize the way you're used to
great.
when you're not,
Yeah.
yeah, it's tricky business. I introvert myself while it's still setting in, I reckon.
Yeah, man. I mean, I haven't had a coffee either, yeah, in 16 days, so that's interesting. I think that makes you hungry, and I'm used to sitting here with a nice warm drink, but ah, 5 days. The countdown is
Yeah,
on.
you were up to 5 days. Whoa, legends. That puts us at 21 days and we did it. Fucking A, man. That's 2024. That's all of our challenges. We've done a lot this year, Campbell. We've
Yep,
toured. We've
yep,
been overseas.
yep, yep.
We've built a
Change.
farm.
Yep, yep. And yeah, I'm going to have another change of diet, I think. We've been looking at the gut and how it all works and what it needs, and so I'm going back to a more varied diet. Definitely going to include the fermented foods though. That's a biggie.
Yeah. Yep.
Kimchi and sauerkraut, apple cider vinegar, all that good stuff.
Yeah, we've definitely going to repopulate our guts. There's a couple of different ways to do that, but yeah, it's just like starting to layer on top of all this emptiness now. Um, all the right things, all the flora and fauna, all the biodiversity of the gut. We're going to build a regenerative farm in our guts.
Yep,
It's
yep.
like everything, layers and layers of organic matter, good organic matter.
Little
Yeah,
forest
and
in there.
yeah, it's been a big friggin' yeah experience. I tell you, it's been definitely at the same time. However, it's been quite cruisy and slow and mellow, and we haven't done much, have we? It's been very
No,
it's been a little bit it's been a bit boring, hasn't it? We've been a bit like,
yeah,
yep,
yeah, just been, yeah, being boring really.
yeah,
Watching a few movies and
yep.
some kitchen nightmares, which is probably
I
not the best
know.
thing to watch when you're
What
not
were
allowed
we
to eat.
thinking? Yep, kitchen nightmares. How's that? Bit of Gordon Ramsay. I know it's kind of it's admittedly I have cried a few times watching this show, so I don't like and maybe would have cried at anything at this point. This is like openness to life and all, but yeah, no, it's been. I mean, Campbell and I basically would never sit around all day watching TV. Like that's just never ever. I mean, I don't think we've ever done that once, and yeah, so it's a quite a unique experience like
Mm,
that. I and we've also done some energy work with Maggie, who we're going
yeah,
to have in the show next week, as
yes.
we start to launch our new series about what's the opportunity in all of this bullshit, man. What is the opportunity?
Yeah, man. Yeah, like most people out there have been studying and watching videos and collecting data about what's going on in the world and where we are and who we are and all this stuff. But when it comes down to it, we've really got to ask the question, what are the results? Where's it getting us? So we're going to go into what's the opportunity, right? Because we need to use all this info to propel ourselves forward, right? And I think
Yep.
that's really the way that you create change. You've got to change yourself, be the example. I don't think running around yelling at people to wake up helps or works. So yeah, we're going to get into what is the opportunity after all this stuff. What can we do with it all to make our lives better?
Yeah, and I mean that's just like it's such an excellent question. There's so many areas of this like consciousness that we've never asked such a question. And the other day, Campbell and I were having an excellent chat with our friend Cass, and the we're just asking this question on the topics that we would normally talk about in sort of like uh the fucking enslavement, the caste system, blah blah blah. And we started to like apply this question, and it was a really nice shift in conversation. We're asking that question, how that sets up a new parameter of a conversation around looking at it from a totally and utterly different lens. Like,
Mm,
and it's as we were doing it, Campbell, didn't it just feel so obvious as we were speaking it out, but we'd never actually even asked that question before in relationship to all this before.
mm,
Like, it was really interesting. It was really cool how we stepped into a whole different perspective, I guess.
mm. Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to go down these rabbit holes and get depressed and, think the world's a prison and, feel helpless and all this stuff. But, in the end, I think we're all doing this for a reason, and that should be to empower ourselves, right? And but in doing that, we empower those around us, and then they pass it on, and that's how I believe we create change. We even talked about the protests and things like that, and obviously they're going on again. But is that the way forward? To get out because we don't see any long term change really. I mean, in Australia, there were lots of, protests 4 years ago, 3 years ago, but now they're out there trying to push another round of it. So, I agree that it did give a lot of information to people,
Yeah.
woke some people up. But again, what were the results of it? Is there better ways that we could use that opportunity, right, to go forward? And
I mean, well, let me ask you, Campbell, what was the opportunity for those who attended the protest? I mean, for me personally, there was an excellent social opportunity, and
yeah,
that above everything else, because of
agree.
all the other things going on, they were our social events. So the protesting were an excellent opportunity to socialize. So that's
Mm.
number one.
Yeah,
Above everything else,
I would have put that at number one as well.
yeah.
Definitely, just people connecting with like-minded people, because then you don't feel like you're out there on your own. You feel more empowered. Obviously, you can make more friends and all this. But yeah, I think it's getting like-minded people together that is huge. And we did our first show in Melbourne. What was it, 21? I think maybe
Mm,
22. And
yeah.
all the feedback overwhelmingly was that they liked it because they could connect with the
Yeah.
same kind of people.
Yeah. Definitely, definitely. So, all right, let me introduce this excellent twist of conversation that Campbell and I had the other day. And it was really, really fun. So, because obviously, like the last show or the one before, we were talking about Masters and the Controllers series and just watching that. And coming out of that, out of watching it, even though it was really fun to watch, and it's just it ticks all our truth-seeking boxes. You can't help but come out of that like fucking disempowered. Like you
Mm,
cannot help it because it's and like even if you don't fully resonate with all the information, like generally speaking, it is all basically saying the same, which is that we live in a very embedded, organized pyramid-like structure. This whole reality we have is a very embedded pyramid structure. There's a hierarchy. There's pyramids within pyramids within pyramids within pyramids within pyramids within pyramids, and there's a caste system, and we are at the bottom of that pyramid as a caste system, and like and we don't have to prove that to you guys. We all know that's true. That is the reality that we live in. There's no denying that situation. We have to give 40% of our wages to our government in taxes. That basically sums it all up, right? So
mm,
we are enslaved in that way. And over the years, I have personally spent a lot of time oscillating between being like really fucking grumpy about that and hence disempowered by that, and then swinging into the opportunity and like what can I do creatively about all of that. And I've just oscillated the whole time, all the time. Everyone who knows me really well knows how my brain has worked on these topics. Campbell has endlessly heard me talk from both of those perspectives. um But we started to say, okay, all right, let's look at it from this perspective. What is the opportunity of this situation? We are in a caste situation and we're enslaved by it. And there's really no changing that. There's nothing we can do ultimately, and Campbell always says to me, there's nothing we can do about. So, I mean, if I'm like, traumatized by the way we treat animals in this realm, which I am, because I think it's the most fucked up thing that we could possibly do is harm animals. I can't do much about that. Like, I can't systematically change any of the laws that enable it.
Yeah.
I can't do anything about how the realm in this pyramid grid has structured its behavior and attitude and legal processing of animals. I can't touch it. So then I get grumpy, right? And I feel disempowered.
Yep.
But from this perspective, and this is where we start to ask the question, what is the opportunity? What is the opportunity? No, all right, sorry. Set it up, people. What is the opportunity of us at the bottom of the pyramid in a caste system enslaved? What's our opportunity? Let's go, Campbell. Let's list all the opportunities that we came up with about being enslaved at the bottom of the pyramid.
Yeah. Well, I think the first one is that we're actually less enslaved than the peoples above us, right?
Yes.
We can earn, you can earn millions of dollars up, up to a certain point, whatever that is, 100 million or whatever. And if you hit there and you want to go further, then you've got to start signing your life away.
Well, 100 million, probably way less than that.
It could be, yeah. Who knows what
Fuck
the
yeah.
mark is? But you can definitely make
A couple of million.
and live a good life and have fun. But yeah, if you want to go up and be one of the rich and powerful or whatever,
Or the celebrities.
the celebrities,
All the famous people, all the
yeah,
politicians.
yeah, all the big CEOs and all this kind of stuff, they're more controlled than us.
Yep.
Told what to do. They might have a lot of money, but if they step outside their parameters, that money disappears. Their
Yep.
whole lives get trashed, and worse, right? And so as you move up, like the people above us are much more enslaved than us. So I think that's definitely a plus if we realize that we're actually the freest people around. We're the biggest group at the freest.
Fuck yeah.
Mm.
That is a significant realization and change of perspective. I bet you hardly anyone out there has thought this, because that is a pretty radical new way of thinking about it. Like, literally, the ones above us in this pyramid structure are more enslaved than us. They appear to be
Yeah.
freer. They appear to have a better life. They appear to have more money and all the promotion and all the support and all the beauty and all that stuff. But they are totally and utterly more enslaved than us. In an instant, what they have achieved can be taken away from them. And for them even to move out of the caste system we're in, they've done something, right? To move out, they've actually done, they've signed something, they've signed something away, they've committed to something, and so they thus are less free than us. The ones that are called the slaves, the ones that are called the enslaved, are actually the freest ones on the pyramid. What do you think about the ones at the very, 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 very top? The top. Do you
Well,
think the top is free?
I mean, I would say they're freer than most of the levels below them. Freer than us? Probably not, because they're going to be controlled as well. Whether it's if we go to the very top, they're at least controlled by agendas, what they need, are going to do. They don't have a free life where they can live and be creative and
And fuck it all off.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But they're
No.
here to do it. Their whole life is to do a job. So they're enslaved
Bloodlines.
as well. Yeah, all this
Yeah.
stuff, right? And we know, right, the agendas they do, they're planned, decades or centuries ahead. And
Yeah.
that's all they do in their lifetime, right? Is they push the agenda, they work on it. And so, basically if they don't, then everything falls apart. So yeah, they're definitely
And
enslaved.
they
They might have money and stuff, but I mean, they can't really get out and use it. They can't help people. They can't, have normal families or communities or friends around them. They're just basically robots of the system as well.
Yeah, and I would say, at the top of any pyramid structure, no one's free. Like, there would be the least freedom there because something's binding them to that position.
Yeah.
Something is binding them to everything that's underneath them, and why, and what's motivated that. And so there's like a total lack of freedom. So in relationship to where we currently stand, all of us, we're literally the most free of every single layer of that pyramid, every single one. So like, let's talk about what that freedom looks like for us. Like, we can choose to basically live wherever we want.
Yep.
In the world. That's true. We can choose to basically do anything we want, as in earn money any way we viably want to. I mean, we would hope our moral code hasn't been, well, that's another point. We'll get to that one. But what else can we do free, Campbell?
Well, we can be creative. We can have
Yep.
friends and community. We can, start businesses or start,
We can live off the
whatever.
grid.
We
We
can
can
live off
disappear
grid.
into the bush.
Yep,
We can
yep.
disappear.
We can travel pretty free. I mean, obviously there's restrictions that they bring in that we have to put up with, but we can still travel.
Yep.
I mean, anyone above us can't do that. Like literally, like if you just go to one of the lower rungs of celebrities, they literally can't even travel on normal planes, right? I mean,
Yep.
yes, they probably have private jets and that, but that just shows you how controlled they are, right? They're told where to fly, when to fly. They have to go into um
Mm.
their whatever, right? Their private airports and all this gets chauffeured around, so they don't have any contact with people. And I think
Yep.
that as humans, that's one of our basic needs, right? You want to have
Yep.
people around you, good friends. That they probably can't trust anyone, right? They probably live these lives where they don't have anyone they can trust because everyone's out to get each other in their caste. So yeah, I mean, definitely we've got a lot of freedom as far as creativity
We
and
can eat whatever we want.
yeah,
We can grow our own food, or we can eat poison shit.
yeah,
We can learn anything we want.
yeah,
We can learn whatever we want, even this stuff if we want, we can learn anything we want.
yeah,
Um we can still be explorers, adventurers. We can still have a mundane job. We can have as big a family or no family at all.
yeah,
We can choose our religion if you want one. I don't know why you would, but if you want one, you could choose your religion.
yeah. We can raise our children whichever way we want. Where
Yep.
clearly the people, above us, in inverted commas, they can't, right? I mean, we've seen all the stuff that goes on, all the, cross-dressing
Yep.
kids and all this kind of stuff.
Yep.
So every facet of their life is controlled where ours isn't. And I still believe that we have the biggest ability to create change. And
Yep.
that's basically an individual thing. It's like with the food. You can go and eat crap from the supermarket
Mm-hmm.
that's full of shit. But if everyone starts getting, proper organic food and growing their own and going to growers markets and all this stuff, well, that's how we stop the meat industry. It's not by going out and protesting or trying to blow up abattoirs or lobbying the government, because clearly that stuff has been tried, but it's never come to a result. So,
But you can do it if you want.
oh yeah, exactly. You can still do it, right?
You
You've
can
got
do
the
it if you
freedom to do it.
want.
Yeah, man.
You
It's like
can.
I was going to say, it's like in America that they've tried putting up these surveillance cameras in lots of cities, and they just all get taken down or spray painted over.
Mm-hmm.
So we,
Yep.
we, we do have a lot of freedom to do that, and that's
Yep.
how ultimately we change everything. I think sitting around, feeling unempowered, like you're a slave, like you can't do anything, that's what they want, right? And from that position, you can't do much. But if you start making empowered choices, then you can do a lot, right? And the more people who get on board, the more things will change.
I mean, you can go and actually, like, in the middle of the night chop down a 5G tower if you want.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can still try to rob banks if you want to.
Yeah.
Like you
It's
can
all up for it,
you
right?
you can, and you know what else you've got, which is so friggin' this is unique to our caste system. Like, seriously, this is unique to us. You can use your imagination in any way you want. You literally have got your imagination, and you can be as creative as you want. Nothing will stop you. This is part of the freedom that's magic in
Mm,
our caste system. As soon
mm.
as you go above this caste system, you lose the rights to your imagination.
Yeah, yeah. Just think of musicians and singers,
Yep.
right? If you're just doing your thing and with you're without the trying to, become a celebrity and famous and all this stuff, you can do whatever you want. You can write your
Yep.
own songs, play whatever music
Yep.
you want. But as soon as you get into a level above, no, you've got to sing the songs that they want you to sing. You've got to perform,
Yep.
when they want you to, everything in order. I mean, and they never get out of it. Like, look at the Rolling Stones, man. They're in their 80s and they still have to tour. And apparently
Yep.
they're mega millionaires, right?
Yep.
They should have the choice, from our perspective, to do whatever they want. So why would they be touring? They've got all the money in the world,
That's right.
apparently, but they're still touring, right? Bob
That's right. All
Dylan's
of
still
them. Bob
touring, all of
Dylan,
them. Yep,
Bruce Springsteen,
yep.
fucking Kiss. Like, it's crazy. You go to Europe and we saw some crazy fucking bands being advertised, like well in their sort of 70s sort of guys. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
I mean, and sport and like sport players, they can't just retire. What was that? There's that a boxer, oh, he's some
Tyson, Mike Tyson.
no, not Mike Tyson. He's a kickboxer or some street fighter or whatever. Anyway, he tried to retire and they wouldn't let him. He had to keep going. He's like not allowed to stop fighting,
Mm.
basically. So even though they aim to like, and all the basketball players,
Yeah,
all these
well, yeah.
like,
I saw Shaquille O'Neal
yeah,
on a show, like one of these sports desk shows. And again, he's supposed to be worth, I don't know, hundreds of millions or billions or something. He's got a family and all this kind of stuff, but what, he's still out there working.
yep,
Why would you do that? Don't they?
yep,
Isn't the whole plan that you work, you make your money, and then you get to live the life however you want?
yep.
But no, they have to keep going, man. Keep going.
All the actors, they have to keep going, working into their fucking, till they die, basically. Like this is just, I mean, I'm sure these older actresses and actors do not want to keep making fucking movies on set for a year doing all that hard labor and they're like in their 80s. Like, but they do
They
because they
do.
have no rights. Politicians, same deal. They just don't get to retire with all their stolen money. They have to keep fucking doing shit, whatever the agenda
Mm,
wants them to do. As soon as you leave our caste system, you surrender your rights to your accomplishments, to your wealth, and to your basically the next point, morality. So in this, what is the opportunity of being in the slave caste at the bottom of the pyramid? You still have your morality intact. You still get to choose your value system. It's still your choice. And like that's a really, really important one to talk about. Like
mm.
seriously big. Because what happens as soon as you try to leave this caste system and get accepted? What happens?
You have
We
to
all
sign
know.
your morals away.
Yeah, you do. You
Totally.
sign your moral code away.
Mm.
And that's just like fucking weird, man. Like what a strange thing to never have like really talked about before. But yeah, we literally, our caste system are the most moral people on this realm.
Oh, completely, man. Completely.
We hold the morality of the human race within us. It is our actions and our choices of how we conduct ourselves and look after each other and the environment and the animals of this realm, the children of this realm, all living creatures of this realm. Our moral code is what's dictating any notion of the frequency and vibration of love on this earth.
Mm. Yeah,
How's
totally.
that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, totally. Like, yeah, we get to make all those choices about that. And as soon as
Mm-hmm.
you go up, it's all gone, right? And they take everything away. Your choice
Yep.
for everything is all
Yep.
controlled, and yeah, like in our system, you can do what you want, you can be nice and loving and create cool
Yep.
things, or you can be an asshole, right? You've got the choice. So,
Yep.
and that's what it ultimately comes back to is we get much more choice in our bottom of the rung. I mean, I kind of look at the pyramid as a bit flipped upside down now, right? Like because
Mm.
we're at the I mean, money, all this kind of stuff, possessions, they're those things that possess you. That's what they do, right? They get these people, they give them money, they give them big houses and possessions, and then they say, step out of line and you lose it all. Hospital to send
And
you and your family.
and rape this child in front of us.
Yeah.
You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like what are you trading? Like we don't have that situation playing out in our lives.
no, no.
If
And
we
we get to change our own lives,
yeah,
with the animal thing. You can choose to not eat meat at all, or to just make sure that all your meat comes from, properly
Yeah.
raised and cared for and loved animals and
Yep.
is organic and all this kind of stuff. We
Yep.
can change our own lives. And
Yep.
I think that's what we're ultimately here to do. I don't think we're here to change anyone else. This whole waking people up, I mean, I think that's kind of silly, right? And it's never really worked. If you talk to someone who's already awake, then they're like, oh yeah, okay, and you might be able to teach them some more information, but ultimately you can't go out and change the masses. But you can change yourself and you can be an example, and that will affect people.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, for sure. We have our choices intact.
Mm,
See, in the caste system where we are, um, we get taxed. Like that's where I would guess that's where the pyramid, that's where I would say we're enslaved, is that we are taxed on everything. We're taxed. So we're essentially working and giving half of everything probably more to them.
yeah.
Right? That's the serfdom of our reality. That's the Robin Hood days of our reality.
Mm,
But as far as our choices go, they're intact. And our morality is intact, right? And how we choose to treat one another is intact. And the choices that we make to do with our body, our well-being, our health, our personal development, our consciousness, our connection with the creator, our meditation, our spirituality, all of those choices are totally and utterly intact. And that's a fucking amazing thing for everyone to really like consider, because it's been a really disempowering ride going through trying to figure out what is our reality and how did we get here.
mm,
So to actually understand, when we look at it from what is the opportunity, everything about what makes you human is fucking intact.
yeah.
And that's a really amazing thing to understand.
Yeah. And in the bigger picture, that's, creating, where we're going to go after this life, right? So we at least get to control the bigger picture, where those above us don't, right? They're made to do things that is definitely going to inhibit their spiritual growth and involvement, where we don't have that. We can be really good people and be the best people we can, that we can be. And that, in the bigger picture, because of course we never die. This is just one little part of our full existence. And yeah, we get to keep all that intact, right? And to grow. But no one above us gets that.
No, they do not. They do not. So as we've been like the deception that everyone's been trying to deprogram from is that out there, out there somewhere is a better version, that there's more success, that there's more money, that there's more relationship opportunities, that there's more notoriety, that there's more influence, that there's more impact, out there somewhere. And we're shown this version of reality that is the pyramid structure.
Mm,
And all of us at some way or other, in some form or other, have strived for that, have desired something about that, have wanted that easier life, this concept of an easier life, that you can find some magical thing on online and sell it, and you're going to be those people traveling the world and just making money while you sleep, the easier version of reality, right? That's the sales pitch. That's what's been sold to us about this pyramid structure without identifying the pyramid structure. What we've done as a conscious community is dive into understanding what this structure is, and like coming out of the other end saying, okay, well, yeah, it's true. It's a pyramid structure. It's a hierarchical structure. It's pyramids within pyramids within pyramids within pyramids. And there's a lot of fucking evil that runs up. So once you go from this caste system, it's just like there's a cutoff. Once the caste system, and then it's just like this evil starts to creep in or come down from the top and like basically plant its roots. But at that level of the casting, there's like a line, there's like a block, there's like something that like buffers us from it. You know what I'm trying to say, Campbell? There's
mm,
something there that like is like an ice wall. It's like something where our choice hasn't been taken. We can choose against it.
mm. Yeah, yeah.
And
and ultimately all this stuff that people want or think they want, you know, money and the fast cars and celebrity and all this stuff, that is that darkness filtering down,
It's the
trying to
evil.
tempt us to go up, you know, to get more enslaved so that they can trap us more. You know, and you know, we're not saying, you know, don't make money. Obviously, more money, you know, helps us in our lifestyle and helps us help more people and affect more change, all this kind of stuff. But you know, that is also the deception to want more and more and more and more. You know, where we should be happy with, you know, enough money to live a good life and do what we want.
Mm.
And then the other things should be, you know, more in the forefront, like community and friends and good relationships and good food and all this kind of stuff. You know, and again, that's how they try and tempt us. You know, like you could have a Porsche and a Ferrari and a big house on the ocean, and the other opposite sex will love you and all this stuff. And but then you see the people in those situations, and not, you don't see very many happy ones, right? Like they might
Yeah.
look happy when they're interviewed, no, but seriously, that they're not.
Well,
All the time we see them breaking down, having mental breakdowns, being unalived, you know, often, you know, all this stuff. So that's the truth,
and
right?
the weird clone realm, the weird, once you go past our caste system, it's you get into the weird clone realm, man. Where this like fucking I don't know anyone who's been cloned in my life. Like they don't clone the slaves, they clone the next level. The next level's cloned, and then you get into all the weird like Freemasonry levels, and then and every step of the way it just gets more and more evil because it's an evil system from the top of the pyramid down. But right at the bottom, we're protected from all that because we have our own choice,
Mm,
which is super fucking excellent and something that you guys really need to like say, that's amazing. We don't want anything else. So when
mm,
we look at it from that perspective, this pyramid situation, which has been in the past quite a disempowering model for us and frustrating, and we're always trying to figure out how to break it down and pull it apart and destroy it and end it and change the rule and like get rid of the politicians and whatever. But like what happens to us now? Here we are, collective consciousness, aware of what it is, can see it, know how it works and operates, acknowledging our freedom in this and acknowledging that our deprogramming process has done a very good job so far to get us to these levels of eyes. So what happens with us? It's like half of the caste system, half of the humans on our level have been, unfortunately, intercepted by the jab. And not only that, that's just the latest thing, but by the food, by the poisons, by the programming, by the indoctrination, by all of the stuff we know, right? It's at least half of us from this level. But
mm.
there's the other half, us. What happens to us here now that we can see it? Because once you see it, you're not really gonna live underneath it, are you? Once you see it, you're gonna like sort of like move along to the
Sideways.
side, like slip along out from underneath the pyramid
Mm.
because the pyramid can't bind you now. Like you can see it. It's not binding you. You're not razzle dazzled by it. You're not desiring it. You're not inter acting with it. You're not utilizing it. You're not drawing on it. You're not using its resources. You're sort of doing everything in your alternative model to become sovereign from it. Would you agree?
Totally. And I kind of think that's what ultimately what it's all about. Like we get shown all this stuff and everyone's like, oh, why is it so bad? And I mean, I think it comes down to the devil wants to tempt us, right? And so
Mm.
it's up to us to see what the system is and understand that it's evil and it's not good and it's not the way to go. And then once we realize that, then yeah, we can step sideways, not be affected by it, not be influenced by it, and then we get to build, you know, really good lives and have good fun and have good friends and all this kind of stuff. So I think that's really the major. I mean, I think that's probably what it's all about, right? Is that whoever, right, God or whatever, or us, choose to be put in this situation so we can test our morals, right? We put ourselves in these places where we're going to be tempted, and it's up to us to make the right decision.
So, I mean, like aliens, demons, Satanism, all of that stuff is sort of up in the pyramid somewhere.
Mm,
I've never seen a demon. I've never seen one.
no,
I
yeah,
mean,
right.
I think it's all up in the pyramid. You gotta go up. You gotta get in there. You gotta interact. You've got to get into the pyramid. And whether you do it through like religion, that's one. You could get in up through the pyramid, whatever thing you can take. There's a ladder there. There's ladder. It's snakes and ladders.
Mm,
Snakes and ladders everywhere. So it's like fucking you go up that ladder, you're gonna come down, there's a snake. There's a snakes and ladder game. But here we are. Here we are, all of us sidestepping the pyramid. We
mm,
like go over here. All right, what's over here? And this is another thing we talked about. What's the opportunity once you've sidestepped the pyramid? What is the opportunity? And like we sort of all collectively, went straight to like, well, it's all about building community. And and it is like at the end of the day, whether or not I think most people in this situation have an innate desire to rebuild the type of reality they want to live in. And I think so many of us would be so delighted to be given a Darrow broken village and to have the right to fix it, to be given
mm,
broken community and fix it, to be given a broken marketplace and fix it, to be given a broken school or a broken orphanage or a broken,
mm.
anything and fix it and like make it better and build it back in our image, that generates goodwill to mankind and serves human beings and loves the little cats in the alleyway and looks after the children who run around in their little gangs and whatever it is. We all have it in us to regenerate in that way, and it seems to be bound collectively to community.
Totally. I mean, everyone wants to be in a good community. Everyone wants to feel
Yeah.
safe. Everyone wants, lots of friends and gatherings and good times. And ultimately, that's worth much more than money. Like that's what you're going to remember on your deathbed. You're not going to remember how much money you earned. It's going to be the good times that you had, right? And over the last 4 years, the amount of talk about creating communities has just gone through the roof,
Oh,
right? It's
yep,
overwhelmingly what people
yep,
want. They want a
yep.
better community. They want people they
Mm-hmm.
can trust. They want good, fresh food. All these things that come with a good,
Yep,
coherent community. That's the best stuff in life. And you might need money, you might not. Who knows, right? Again, you've got choice. We can go and just if you wanted to, you could go and start something, out in the outback or in some forest somewhere. But
mm-hmm.
but even we can get people together, we can get land, we can create good communities, and then ultimately, once you've done that, you've got pretty much most of your needs fulfilled, right, and your
Yep,
wants.
yep,
And you're not going to be thinking about, oh, I want to be famous, oh, I want $100 million, oh, I want a Ferrari, because none of that stuff matters, in a good community.
yep.
Right?
Agreed.
Mm.
So then we have to look at, so like every single one of us, every single one of you guys, our whole audience all around the world, you're in the situation right now where you have sidestepped the pyramid. Your eyes have been opened and you're out of it. You're out of it enough. You understand you're still taxed, but you're out of it enough to want to build some sort of alternative sovereign experience. So now you've got to ask yourselves individually, where's my opportunity? Where is my opportunity in my life right now to achieve something closer to the way that I want to live? Because I'm free to do that and I'm empowered to do that.
Yeah,
And like, we can't forget this, everyone. It's so easy to forget this when we go and watch all these things and listen to these talkers and, even like all the speakers on YouTube. And like, I don't include us, but we should include us. But all the speakers on YouTube, you have the right to deep dive and become obsessed with them. You have the right to like turn it into a cult. You have the right to give your life up and trust only one source. We see that all around, even in the Tartarian realms. Like you literally
yeah,
can turn information people are giving you into a cult, and you have the right to do that.
sure.
But you also have the right to just change your mind any fucking time you want and to tune out whenever you want. You have that right.
Mm. and you have the right to press stop on a video and watch another one.
Yep.
You don't have to watch it and get, all pissed off at the person and, oh, they're this and they're that and they're destroying my life. And just change the channel, man.
Yep.
It's crazy, right? And, obviously, we know that there's infiltrators everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try and influence us. So that's why I've always been against guru worship.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you're getting all your information from one source, you're being told something. You're
Mm-hmm.
just being told something. That's it. There's no other explanation. It's someone telling you what you should do, who you should be, what your goals should be, or they're just making you depressed and angry. But how does that improve your life? And
Yep.
if you can't fix yourself, how can you help anyone? Like you can't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is
Mm-hmm.
what we got to get back to. And there's so many sayings, right, about this kind of stuff. The way out is in. Go inside to find out. It's all about yourself. You got to change yourself. Don't go out and try and change the world because it's impossible. It's impossible. And all these people that are put up in front of us, who have apparently changed the world, they're all from levels above us. They're not in our caste. All the civil rights stuff. All the peace movement, all the
Yep.
everything.
Yep.
They're there to get us to follow
Yep.
them and
Mm-hmm.
to worship them and to take on their
Mm-hmm.
value systems. And that way
Yep.
we're more susceptible, right? And this is also why, once you start moving up, they erode your morals
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because demons cannot inhabit bodies with good morals. They have to
Yep.
demoralize you, empty your vessel out, and then you're open to
Yep.
demons, man.
And they corrupt your focus because like even like all the causes like like that's the truth, like every cause, every issue, every problem that we champion to fix at our level is brought down to us from their level.
Yep.
And that is the truth, and like that's true with what I do as well, like the regen ag stuff, the fixing the soil, all those things, the fighting against the pesticides in the food chain. That's all issues they've brought down to us. It is part of the distraction. But I mean, the opportunity for us all is like, well, you're going to have to earn money because we are in a caste system, like black and white.
Mm,
So, what do you want to spend your time like? How do you want to spend your time earning money? And to me, like, caring about these issues, even though it's their agenda, and these issues aren't really real. Like, they're not really real. Anything to do with the environment, the earth will heal itself. Like,
yeah.
that's a truth. And like, I say that when I work in this area, like, the earth's ability to regenerate itself is vastly underestimated.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, any issue with endangered animals, they will take care of that themselves. Any issue with pesticides in the food chain, well, at the end of the day, you get to choose what you want to eat.
Yep.
Like, that's the truth.
Mm,
Like, so it's not really a problem for everyone. I work in it and it's not a problem for me because I don't eat it.
mm, exactly. I mean,
Any,
ultimately, that's it. We get choice.
yep. Any war, all the wars, like they're all relevant to me because I don't fight in them. I don't engage them. They're not part of my reality. I would never engage them. I would never send my children to them. I don't celebrate them. I'm not into it at all. It's just like it's not part of my experience. Like that's another thing. Like
Mm,
I mean, basically what I'm trying to say, Campbell, is like we have a choice right now in our lives, every single one of us, to take advantage of the opportunities ahead of us. And there's many of them. For all the information that you guys know, all the things that you've like tried to figure out and work out, you now have an advantage. Like you literally have knowledge, and knowledge is power. You have an opportunity now to do something with that that serves your life, whatever that may be to you, whatever's meaningful for you. I mean, I just wanted us to have this podcast. I mean, we could go on for ages, but Campbell, I mean, at the end of the day, I just wanted like really to share a shift in perspective
mm.
with everyone.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've all seen it, like some of these deep, dark rabbit holes, affect people psychologically. They get them depressed, they make them feel
Fuck yeah.
hopeless. And
Yeah.
in the end, we can't really prove that. Definitely, we can't prove that all of them are real. We were talking, what was it, a couple of days ago, and the whole, children thing that came up in 2020, 21. All this talk about, oh, they're going to free the children and all this stuff's happening and they're doing this and this.
Yeah.
Um, you know, Now we know that that was all crap. None of it existed. And I'm not saying that,
Yeah.
child abuse doesn't exist. Clearly it does. But on the scales that people were talking about, and that, we could shut it all down, or nothing happened. And nothing happens from any of these
Hmm.
civil causes, like civil rights and the peace
No.
movement. Like, whatever happened
No.
from that, right?
No.
Nothing. So it's,
No.
understand that all these causes that they want people to get involved with, they're to corrupt our morals, get us more, basically ingrained in the system, and to control us. That's it.
Yeah.
There
And
is no
take more
change.
money.
And
And
take
take
more
more
money.
money and more energy.
Yeah,
Like, hello, the 40-hour fucking famine. Who did that when they were
exactly.
little children?
Yeah,
Me, I
man.
did, of course. I've done every cause. Like, I've cared a lot and tried
Mm.
everything, and sucking on barley sugars for 40 hours.
Oh,
Yep, for the 40
sugar,
freaking like,
yeah,
well,
man.
look at us
Do they
now,
even make
Campbell. We're
barley
doing a
sugar
real,
anymore? I haven't seen
I
that in a
don't know, I
while.
don't know. But look at us. We're on a 21 day famine.
Mm,
But like what happened to that? Where all the starving children that like the World Vision was meant to resolve back when
mm.
I was 10
That was
years
back in the
old, like
80s, man, when it was huge.
45 years later, nothing's
Yeah,
happened.
nothing's happened. No,
Yeah.
no one's
Yep.
life's been
Mm-hmm.
improved. All the
Yep.
Live Aid and
Yep.
all those concerts that
Greenpeace.
they did,
Yep.
and
Yep.
Greenpeace, and
Yep.
and, and now we know that all
Mm-hmm.
these charities that stand up and say, "Oh, we're going to help
Yep.
people, give us money."
Yep.
It's all
Yep.
bullshit. No one gets
Yep.
the money except the bloody CEO and the
Absolutely.
employees
Yep.
at the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
all it's all a grift.
Yeah, it really truly is. But you as a human being at this level can choose if you want to start any of those things yourself and actually do meaningful work. Like you have that option.
Mm.
It's only when it like if it filtered down from the top, then it's corrupted, which is what all of them are. World Vision, Red Cross, Vincent's de Paul, Vinnie's. Did you guys know that our like op shops like Vinnie's, our famous Vinnie's here in Australia is like privately owned? Like
Yeah,
privately
I
owned
know.
company now. It is nothing to do with charity whatsoever.
No,
Um,
but
yeah, I mean, like
they
base
still get all the grannies to go and work for free.
free, absolutely, and get all the free stuff given to
Mm.
them.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah, and
no,
everything's
it's
free. So I mean, what a
yeah,
business plan, right?
yeah, I know, shit,
Jeez.
right? But as I have done in the past, you have the right to go into your community and open up an op shop, a real op shop, and actually do good things with that op shop. You have that choice.
Yep.
And I mean, everywhere we look at this now, it's like total empowerment.
Mm,
Like there's nothing in your life where you're not empowered from this perspective.
mm,
And guys, like, I mean, how many decades do we pursue understanding what's going on up there in this like pyramid structure? And how many years do you like give up the things that are important to you or stop putting your energy and your heartiness onto the creations that would be meaningful in your life?
mm.
And like how many creators out there have stopped creating because they're just fucking depressed and
Yep.
don't see there's any fucking point to any of this.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, and that's another one of the big scams, right?
Yeah, it's a fucking
That's
scam.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They want to control your mind and get you depressed so that you don't be yourself. You
Yep.
don't be creative. You don't use your God-given skills.
Oh,
You lose
it's
all that and give it
frozen.
away. Oh, did we freeze?
Yep.
Oh, we're back. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the
That's
other
all right.
big
We're back.
scam
Yep.
is it's really ordered to control our mind, but we have to give our minds over. They don't come in and take them. They just dangle stuff in front of us, give us gurus to follow, and again, you have free choice to follow them if you want. But we all should know by now that that's just a scam. And what it does is it takes away your humanity,
Yep.
takes away your God-given gifts and what you could give to the world. And for that you get to be depressed,
Yeah,
and
you do. Fucking
you
oath.
know.
Yeah, and isolate yourself and then suddenly get paranoid and feel like anxious and feel agitated and feel like no one understands you and no one hears you and constantly trying to like get everyone to understand, like that puts you into like a stasis. You might as well be like in a cloning center in the tube. Like you're immobilizing yourself. Your general sense of, and I trust me, I know what this feels like. Your general sense of lightheartedness, of well-being, of waking up every single morning excited to get up and like do something with the opportunities, like all of that gets suppressed. It gets suppressed and suppressed, and you end up, years go by in your life where you're none the better. You're none the better because you've put too much energy feeling disempowered and like getting shitty about it.
Mm,
And it's just like yeah, so I mean, like this is like a really important thing for us to sort of do a perspective shift on.
mm.
Because for me, yeah, I mean, being empowered is like a whole other kettle of fish.
Oh,
Like
totally. Yeah.
if Canberra, yeah, go Canberra, talking.
That's exactly what they don't want. That's why there's so much of this stuff
Exactly.
around us, so much distraction. Because if we all, got empowered and started using our own creativity and stuff and creating what we wanted rather than focusing on them and what they create, then the world would change pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and like for us, that world will become quite irrelevant, really, because we're going to be sort of moving our energies towards things that are opportunistic for ourselves. Like,
Mm.
and when I say opportunistic, I'm talking about not shit that like abuses other people, not stuff that scams other people, not stuff that like
Not stuff that
like
Tara
is
would do.
immoral in conduct. Exactly. Stuff that Tara from Old World Tours has
The
done.
Red Witch.
Like
Yeah.
that is not the right conduct. Yes. What is the right conduct? Is it like within your life, every step of the journey, it's meant to be improving. It's meant to get better. And the bridge to it getting better is to start to ask simple questions like, hey, good morning, everyone. What's my opportunity today? Like, keep like asking that every single day. I swear to God, it could be our next retreat. Like, actually saying it every single day. First thing you say every single morning, what is my opportunity today? And just like, how long would it take for every single day a new opportunity to become obvious to you? Like, they're already there. Just you're not looking for them. You're not naming them. You're not asking for them. You're not calling out to them. So you're not seeing them.
Mm.
But I swear to God, every single one of us, no matter your description of the life that you're in, there are opportunities being presented to you all the time that you are not acknowledging because you're too fucking pissed off about the fact that the world is shit and we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, totally. I often think about that old lady that they interviewed on a deathbed, and they said, what would you do differently if you had your life to live over? And she said, I would sing more, I would dance more, I would be with my friends more, I would love more. Yeah, and she didn't say, well, I'd research more. So if you asked anyone what was the best times you ever had, no one's going to come and say, oh, it was when I spent that 8 hours in front of the computer researching how bad the world was.
For 10 years.
10 years, right?
Yeah, which
So,
I've done. I have
yeah,
done.
yeah, we've all done it. But I think, this is the whole point of the video is what now? We need to do something with all this. I mean, to what end? When are you going to stop, going down these rabbit holes and everything and start actually using the information you've got to actually make change? And I think one of the biggest things is there's this whole sort of thought or narrative or whatever that you've got to change the whole world. No one can change the whole world, but you can change yourself. I think
You got
it's
to change the pyramid.
yeah, it's just Joe Dispenza, I think, said, if you want to change yourself, well, that's easy. But if you want to change the world, you got to go out there and change 7 or 8, well, so they say, billion people, which is impossible. You can't do it. So we need to focus on things that we can actually do. And if we do that, guess what? More gets done. Change
It's
happens
true.
quicker.
Yeah, so what you're saying there is like if you get depressed because the only thing you think is going to make a difference is to try to change the pyramid structure, try
Mm,
to change the organization of this reality, to like make those big changes. They're so lofty and unobtainable and impossible from our position that you end up in non-action. And it
yep.
basically is like the Buddhist religion. like they teach you to go after emptiness and sit there in no mind, no thing, do nothing,
Mm.
be non-creative, like just seek nothingness, basically. Whole lives, whole hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people dedicated their life to nothingness, thanks to Buddhism. And it's the same thing. Like if we dedicate our like energy and life trying to figure out how to take this control structure down, how to shift this pyramid, how to knock it down, how to like affect change from that perspective, it's like we're going to have no impact at all.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to happen. And like we will not be contributing to the regeneration of our level. And our level is the true level. It's the human level. It's the creator level. It's the level of the imagination. It's the good level. It's the moral level. It's the love level. Our level is the love level, man. And so like our energy should be in like enhancing, like captivating, inspiring, and enjoying and regenerating the love at our level. Because from that perspective, our lives, our earth, the real reality starts to blossom again. And that's the fucking shift.
Yeah.
And that's a massive perspective change.
Mm, totally. And yeah, I mean, that's if I think change has to be bottom up, if we're talking about pyramids, right? The only actual way that we can affect change to think to levels above us is to change ourselves and to be the example and show people that you can change. You can make, amazing things. You can, be a good, healthy person and create good communities. You start your own shop like Kelly has, whatever it might be, you can do it, but you cannot do that if all your focus is, oh my God, I'm powerless, I'm a slave. You'll never do anything. And so you're never going to change anything.
Yep. Yep. And you feel shit.
And you
and
feel
you
shit,
and you feel
yeah, to
shit,
boot.
and then you're grumpy, and then you're shit partner, and you're shit like mom or dad, or you're shit kid, or you just like, this sense of, and like, okay, take it back to last show with this whole MCO concept, this plasma apocalypse, this apocalyptic, this cyclic apocalyptic idea that like the world is destined and is inevitable. Like that may be so, but like considering it now from this perspective, 1 week later, like how disempowering is that concept? Like like we don't know for sure that's a fact. We don't know anything. We don't nothing. And if all of our energy is on trying to like work out how we're going to negotiate that thing that we don't even understand, that thing, like then what does our actual life, what does the quality of our current life look like?
Mm,
What happens to you? You kind of get mentally insane.
yeah,
Like, and you become a shit friend and a shit partner and like a dodgy parent. Like you become obsessed with trying to figure this out. And like at the same time, as Campbell would say, well, I know exactly what you'd say about that. Like line yourself up to the right like level of frequency, in our case, like love, and be in the right place at the right time. It's all going to work out.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's my plan. I just
Yeah.
get in tune, and when whatever happens, happens, you'll be in the right spot, right?
Yeah.
And this is the thing, we don't know that we've got no proof of anything really of what's going to happen or when or if. But some people like the preppers, right? That they've spent decades
Mhm.
like spending all their time and energy on getting
I've been
supplies.
a prep.
You've been a
I've done
prepper too,
this.
yeah,
I've
and
done this.
all
Yeah,
this
man.
stuff. I mean,
Hmm.
I think we've both done it like what twice. We've sort of collected food up, and I've just sort of stocked the pantry a bit. I haven't gone overboard. And that's fair to do. It's good to have food on hand, right? But if you put your whole life and energy into it, then you lose yourself. And on top of that, as a bonus, no one wants to be around you because that's all you ever talk about, and you're a boring, depressing idiot.
Well,
So
thanks,
yeah,
man. Thanks,
sorry,
thanks,
preppers.
thanks. Oh, geez, that was a bit harsh there, Campbell. Geez. But anyway,
It's true.
he has the right to say that because we're at the bottom of the caste system, man. You can say whatever you
Exactly, man. You can
want.
say whatever I want.
And you know what else? Like, this would probably be my last point. Like, the earth, our level, the caste system needs you. Like it needs you, man, because our caste system, it's getting really dull and boring. Where are all the amazing, creators who are opening up shops in their community with awesome, unique fashion, for example? Please start bringing in
And
some fashion,
right.
fashion or creativity or, crazy teapots, like a whole shop full of teapots from the teapot lady or, herbal teas to go with that or, the Devonshire tea lady or the, the innovative sculptor man who opens up,
Mm.
there's so many
Yep.
amazing
Great
we watch
cafes and
oh
restaurants and all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
like every
Parks.
yeah. I
Dr.
mean,
Sam's built this big park, we can do all that.
yes, that's so true. Like where's the parks, the creativity, the playgrounds? Where's the food outlets and the farmers markets? Where are the amazing markets? Like there is so much scope to contribute to this this regeneration of the earth, this new period, this new positively charged period in ways that are so unique to you that we've been basically deceived from even thinking about anymore. Like no one really thinks about opening up business, like literal physical businesses, like in the streets anymore. Like we've all been deceived to go up the pyramid, go into the land of the internet, the AI, go into this land where you're drawing on Amazon or drop shipping or whatever, trying to make money that way. Nothing physical, nothing tangible, nothing creative. But man, I tell you what, when you walk down a main street in a community and there's people who are actually individually putting out their product, the things they've made with their hands, their innovations, their food or their wine or their art or whatever the fuck it is, like then that street becomes quite magical and it attracts people, it attracts more cast members to the street, and then there's profitability in that, and like there's community in that, and there's so much, there's like literally 1 billion% potential for every single one listening to this podcast to do something physical and tangible in the real world at our caste system and have literally the biggest impact they could have on the overall well-being of the positively charged earth that we're going into.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's where the power is. And again, that's what everyone really wants, right? Everyone wants a good community, a good, safe community where you can trust people and you can walk down the street and have all this amazing stuff to see and to buy and whatever else. So that's what we need to get back to, right? Is creativity, because that's what we are. We're creators. We're here to create. We're not here to follow. And this is something like that's
Yep.
going on with social media, especially YouTube at the moment.
And we're
It's
producers.
and we're producers, but everyone's just copying each other.
Yep.
Just copying each other. You look at the videos on YouTube,
uh
whatever topic starts to get popular, 1 million people jump on and just create the
yep.
same content, and it's as boring
Yep.
as anything. It's crap. We don't
Yep.
want that repetition in all this kind of stuff. It's boring as
It
shit.
is.
So
Yep.
we do need to get back into our creative space because that's ultimately what we're here to do. And people always talk about let's create a new earth, let's create a new world. Well, you have to create to do that, guys.
Yeah. And physically, like in the real world, not in the internet. The internet is like up the pyramid chain. It's fake. It's not real. It's not real. It's not real. There's nothing about it that's real. It's just numbers on a
Well,
screen.
we're real,
I
but
know. I
yeah,
yes. Okay. Yes. But you know my point. Like it's
yeah.
not, the creation is different. It's true. When I create in Photoshop, like a poster for us versus me painting something, it's an entirely different experience. Like I don't know if you guys know about this, but I'm like a big mural artist. I paint huge murals for different councils all around Australia, and I love it. It's like one of my favorite things is to sit there with my headphones on and just get lost in a mural for 5 weeks. It's like it brings a lot of love and joy to my heart, and I bet you, if you personally, all of us sat down and like really looked into our lives at the times where we felt truly lighthearted and truly happy and just joy and really excited and was really content and fulfilled. They were moments when you were being creative. There were
Mm,
moments of your own, whatever that meant for you, creativity. And that should be our life.
yep. Yeah. Some of my best times have just been walking around my garden and fixing up and doing some gardening and I love that, right? You know, maybe have a bit of a joint and then just walk around for a few hours and
The
tend to the
best.
plants and fix everything up and create something, right? Create a garden that's amazing and you know, you get food and you're creating habitats for creatures and things and you know, it's definitely a different feeling than sitting in front of a computer.
I mean, and how many men out there are innovators, and like they're inventors. There's men and women, but like there's this like the male mind around innovation and invention is really, really impressive. And so many of you guys could be doing some fantastic work there, like
Mm,
some fantastic work. The man shed is like famous for a reason. Like some
mm,
fantastic things come out of that, and also fantastic relationships with the rest of your family because of that. And that's sort of stuff filtering back into the caste system to our level of the game. It's
mm,
just like that's the magic that they can't stop. That's the magic that swings it all back, to the world that we want to be living in. And
totally,
so
man. Yeah,
yeah, I
get
mean,
into your man cave, you know, get some friends around, have a few beers, create things, have fun.
I have a
Uh,
man cave, by the way. I love it.
You
I love
do.
man cave. I do. I like man caves. Yep.
And that's what everyone, all the men used to do, right? On the weekends. And now they all are either on the computer or in front of the telly,
Yep.
you know, and that's not good for them or their children, right? They used to get their children out with them and they would teach them things. And then we would have, you know, young males that could actually do stuff, could build stuff, could fix stuff. I mean, we don't have that anymore. You've all seen the videos of the vast majority of, you know, young males that they don't know what's going on. They got no skills. And this is
But
what
that's changing
it is
in
changed.
our version because the homeschooling's kicked off so fucking massively in our community, and all those kids are like back to that level of
Mm,
sovereignty.
yeah. And
Yeah.
just that, you know, if you are creative like that, or in any way, you know, a big way you can give back is just to share that, right? Teach children what you know. Like, let's get
Uh,
all this stuff back out. Let's get the real education back out and teach our
yep, that's all
children.
changing. Yep.
Mm,
Apple pie trees, Campbell.
apple pie
The apple
trees.
pie tree. I would love to walk into a shop that had an apple pie tree. I'd love someone to create an apple pie tree, whether it be real or fake. It would be amazing to just go and try beautiful, amazing apple pies.
Could
Like
you
there's
come
so
up?
many things that like, the human race has forgotten about or just you look at all the fantasy movies we watch, and whenever that you go into the marketplace in these fantasy movies, they're just unreal. There's
Mm,
like all sorts of craftsmen and skills and magical things and foods and merriment and lots of excellence. And I think the biggest impact that I think the biggest head fuck that's come out of all of this for me personally, for me, is in doing all of those things, I was really grappling with the fact that I never felt like it had any impact. Like I never felt like if I'm sitting there painting my paintings or making my murals, the impact was too small. Like comparatively to the problems that I saw around me and the issues in the world, it just felt indulgent and silly and not going to affect any
saving the
change.
world. Yeah.
Yeah, not saving the world. Exactly. So I fell into that trap and have been in it for a long time where, I do all the creativity, but it's never what I would make my full-time job being because I didn't feel like it was important enough or relevant enough. But from this perspective, that is fucking bullshit. Because
Most
like me,
important thing.
it is the most important thing because it's my lightheartedness that will bring about the most impact in this entire situation.
Yeah, man. I mean, you changed an entire town and brought llamacorns into the
I
consciousness. I
did.
mean, you know,
The
there you
largest
go.
herd of llamacorns in the world, I have you say, is in
Yeah,
Ashford in New South Wales in Australia.
yeah. There you go. And that's the thing. Like when you do stuff like that, you inspire people. When you inspire people, you get change. And again,
Yes,
isn't
and
that what we all say that we're trying to do?
it's true. Campbell had to remind me because I literally did this. I went into a town, in a ghost town, really, like 500 people, And I painted llamacorns all over the place and created a herd of them. And it was the only town in the world where everyone in that town knows what a fucking llamacorn is. Like, and that changed the town. I also introduced op shops to it. Now, when I was doing that, I was painting murals and I was very creative, and I wasn't doing any of this stuff. I wasn't in the rabbit holes. I didn't have a computer at the time. I didn't have a website. I didn't have Facebook, and I didn't have a TV. I was really literally in my own, and I'd created a community on my farm. I was in that world, and I was the happiest that I've ever been. And I would say I like really truly influenced the most people I ever did in that time in my life.
Mm.
So there you go. How do you
From
compare?
being yourself,
Like,
right? Mm.
it's true. It's true. I mean, I like this show. I love what we do here because we just do present ourselves. It's not like we're really presenting like any research anymore on any actual serious topics, Campbell. We really
Just plenty
present
of random
ourselves.
thoughts. But this is what we're talking about, right? This is us being us and using creativity and having basically having conversations where we just expand on themes and our opinions
Yeah.
and that's what it's all about. It's not about, you know, regurgitating secondhand information or anything, or trying to get more likes or trying to be famous YouTubers or any of that kind of stuff. And you know, as a bonus, we get a lot of feedback and people saying that they love what we do, and so we've got to do shows where we bring people together, and I think that's important as well.
And have a party, man.
Have a
Like it,
party.
how much? That's right. Like it's all about community, those shows. And
Mm,
that's fun to Campbell and I. Definitely. Our next year when we tour Australia again, it's so much going to be about the party. Like just getting us together and fucking having a fun time together. That's it. That's what
yeah,
we love. That's what we're going to do.
yep, that's it. Yeah, yeah. We did we drew up our year the other day, and I think what did we get, like 12, 11 or 12
12
places we're going to
gigs.
go in Australia, and then we're also planning to go to the UK for a mini tour.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and
And
again,
like,
this has all come off the back of us just sharing random thoughts, right, on the internet, and
and
so
I would, sorry,
I
God,
was
I'm
just going to
just
say, so when you
getting excited.
yourself when you do that, you get you get good rewards.
And I mean, I would love to have Tartaria Australia doing, I would love us to be in a Radio Shack, man. I'd love to go back to the radio. I'd love us to have a fucking,
Yep,
pirate radio station. I think that'd be fucking cool. And I
yep,
think that would be fun to set up in Mullaney.
yep. We talked about this a bit. Yeah, yeah, that's a great idea, right? Like actually get off the internet, and everyone have to go and buy like a shortwave receiver or something.
That's
You can
right. And
tune
you
in
can
that
tune
way,
in.
right?
That would
Your
be
little
fun, man.
earphone on.
I'm into that. I'm into that. I think we can make that happen.
Yeah,
And
well,
of
we
course,
can be uncensored too, right? Totally.
yep.
Say whatever we want.
And interview anyone that comes to the radio station. And of course the opportunity in that is that like probably all of that gear is super cheap right now because no one wants it.
Totally,
So
man.
so,
Totally.
yeah.
Set up for $100.
Yeah, we could probably just like buy out the contents of an existing radio station that's about to go bankrupt because I don't think anyone listens to the radio anymore. It would be very fun.
Yeah,
Anyway, look, I don't want to ramble on any much. I think we've made our point really well, and I hope that it's inspired and reinvigorated and re-empowered you guys to like shift your perspective that actually the situation we're in right now is fucking awesome.
totally, man. Totally. Totally agree. You know, and we're not saying, you know, stop what you're doing and don't research. You know, if you enjoy that, well, you know, you can do that, but don't let it become your life and control you. You know, keep your humanity, get out there, use your creativity to
Yeah.
create a better
Use your
life for you and for
creativity.
others. Mm,
Yes, yes. Don't put it aside. Your creativity, don't do it. That is the ultimate. That is the ultimate disempowerment from the pyramid. That's it,
totally,
I would
totally, man.
say.
Yeah,
Yep.
oh, they hate it, man. They do not like free thinkers at
Mm,
all, or
mm.
people who are creative. More than that, they don't like people who do something with their free thinking, and that's what we're lacking in this whole, you
Yeah.
know, truther community or whatever you want to call it. Way too much study and not enough doing.
Yep. I fully agree. And I leave you with one metaphor. I went to Tasmania last year into the very famous salamander markets, and like they've been going forever, right? And it's a massive market. It's massive. It's not as good as Umundi though, near Mullaney, by the way, everyone. That
Oh,
is a terrific market. Terrific.
oh, no way to go there.
Yeah, but I was going to say, so I walked the whole length one way and the whole length back, and I can tell you what, there was one stall in the whole market that I felt was original. One store, and it was this man, and he was just like he was making sculpture out of toys and random things, and he was turning them these like recycling these bits and pieces into these little pointless but fascinating bits of art and sculpture. And he was the most unique store I had seen at a market forever, because when you go to these markets, more than often than not, it's like on repeat.
It's
There's the person who does the soaps, and the person who does the creams, it's the person who does the nuts, it's the person who does the cutting boards. It's the same shit
yeah,
over and over again. It
yeah.
really is Yeah,
And unfortunately, a lot of it's straight out of China stuff, right? Like I
yeah.
noticed that at the Victoria markets again, a
Mm.
massive, very famous markets. And yeah, I was kind of a bit shocked, you know. It was all either straight from China or it was just the run of the mill stuff, right? The handbag store and
Yeah, it's all
the
the
cool
same.
clothes from
Yeah,
Thailand store. You know, people weren't making this stuff; they were
yeah,
buying it and
yeah.
reselling it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. But there was one man in the
Man,
midst of the whole market, maybe 500 stores, who was like doing something completely unique to himself. And I fucking respected that man. I bought one of his things. I wouldn't, I don't even know what the name, how to call a little sculpture. I bought a little sculpture, and like, well done to him. And that's the vision of the world that I want to see. Imagine if 500 stores, everything was different. Imagine how friggin' amazing that would be.
yeah,
That's our potential. That is the potential. All right, I'm
definitely.
rambling. We're rambling. All right, I'm going to say goodbye,
Right.
Campbell.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you, my bestie. Happy birthday. How old are
Thank
you today? You're
you.
going to share? You're going to tell everyone?
I am 52 years young.
Amazing. Campbell, it looks fucking amazing for 52. Unbelievable. You would never, ever know it. Ever. You look great, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my secret is to be immature. So there you go.
And look, may I just say on behalf of the whole community, I'm sure everyone is wishing you a fantastic birthday, and really want to honor you with everything that you bring to this community, and all your work and all your words, and just your good-natured soul, my friend.
Mhm,
Your good nature.
mhm. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we love you, man. We love you, Campbell. Um, all right, everyone. Look, have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next Friday. That's our commitment now. Every Friday. Every
Yes,
Friday is our commitment. Can we do it, Campbell?
we're gonna get regular. No more random videos. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so this will be up, yeah, a couple of days after my birthday, but feel free to wish me a happy birthday anyway.
Yeah, good old you. Good on you, Campbell. I wish you a happy birthday, my friend. And next show we're going to be interviewing Maggie Palmer, the amazing healer that has worked with both of us as we've moved through this fast,
Yep.
clearing our trauma and toxicity. Like, it's going to be a really, really good interview, looking at yet another opportunity of what we can do in this moment in time. Very
Cool.
exciting. All right.
Don't miss it. All right,
Love
guys.
you,
Stay
everyone.
awesome. See you next time.
Bye.